Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news, it's recently been reported that Charles Oliveira had to pull out of his fight with Beneil Dariush at UFC 288 due to injury. ESPN was among the first to break the news on Twitter. The scheduled lightweight fight between Charles Oliveira and Beneil Dariush for UFC 288 on May 6 will be postponed due to an undisclosed injury to Oliveira. Sources told Carlos Legespi UFC is working on a new date for the bout. Here's what Chael Sonnen had to say about the situation.
Charles Oliveira got hurt. We're told suffered a minor injury. Quite frankly, we really aren't owed an explanation. I mean, we're really not. Guys that put out their injury reports, I never know why. There's no way to win. I mean, there's no right answer, right? It's a minor injury. If it's a minor injury, why are we even talking about it? Why'd you even bring it up if it's minor? It's going to delay business, rankings, a number one contenders match, interrupted co-main event, interrupted card that's completely sold out, has a live gate box office north of $2 million, and it's a minor injury. Boy, that little minor injury sure has some big consequences.
Aljamain Sterling seems to have squashed his beef with Raul Rosa Jr. after Rosa was defeated last weekend at UFC 287. Sterling tweeted, "Rosa, keep your head up, kid. The game is a marathon, not a sprint. Let me know if you want to train again. Without the cameras, though." Rosa has since accepted Aljo's invitation, and the pair were seen training together on a recent video uploaded by Aljo to his YouTube channel. During the video, Rosa had this to say about his session with Aljo.
Today was the first training session with Aljo. I think he's leaving to New York, that we're gonna be training when he comes back. Whenever I have a fight coming up, but whenever he comes back, that's when we're really gonna start training together. But I decided to train with him because I feel like I just need sparring partners, more partners that can give me more competition and put me in worse positions in the training room, so I can get more of that look on what I need to work on. So I think training with more high-level training partners, Aljo's gonna be one of them. He's got Mirab, JP, but I think that's gonna help me a lot.
Robert Whittaker talks about a potential fight against Dricus du Plessis during a recent interview on Submission Radio. Here's the clip.
I'm at a point where I just want to fight someone. I just want to fight someone, and I just want to fight someone. Preferably top 5. I've fought everybody. I want to fight top 5 dudes. I'm the closest thing to the title. There's 0 point fighting anybody else.
Yeah, well, it's okay. So Israel kind of hinted at du Plessis and how they could sort of have that fight if he wins a couple. Do you almost fight him to take out the only other guy in the division that could potentially make it up to a title shot? Yeah,
perhaps. Like I said, I'm not the UFC. I don't make the stories. So see what happens. I'm looking for a fight though. That's what I want. And the fight has to lead me in the direction of the belt. That's what I want. I want to fight in that direction. So beating anybody that does not get me closer to a title shot makes no sense.
Max Holloway gives his prediction on the scheduled boxing match between Nate Diaz and Jake Paul. Here's what Holloway had to say.
You gotta roll with the OG Nate. You gotta roll with the OG Nate, man. I got nothing but love for Nate, and I think he does good. I think he does well, man. He's a boxer. He's a boxing-based guy in MMA, so now he get to actually box and stuff, and his reach, and man, he can hit. He can crack, bro. His arms is long, and he can crack. So I'm excited for that one. And I heard a few behind-the-scenes stuff about Nate and why that fight took so long to come in. He's trying to get all his boys paid too. So Nate is that dude, bro. He's that guy.
Sean O'Malley gives his take on the rumored fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Paulo Costa.
Paulo Costa versus Khamzat to potentially co-main.
I would love that fight.
Co-main in Abu Dhabi, and they're saying Islam will headline it. You can bring him. Islam will headline it versus. They haven't really said anything, have they?
No, not that I don't think so.
But yeah, I mean, obviously title fights are always going to be the headline over even big fights like that. Costa versus Khamzat. Costa Khamzat, 3-round war. I would rather see almost a 3-rounder than a 5-rounder.
Jon Anik claims Colby Covington crossed the line during a recent interview. Here's what Anik had to say about the situation.
I think you can argue he crossed the line, but I never felt particularly threatened. More so, I felt the support from Jorge Masvidal and Jamal Hill and a lot of other athletes, and I certainly appreciate that. You know, I don't know that you need to inject anybody's kids into the equation, and there will come a point in time on Snapchat or somewhere else where my 11-year-old daughter is going to come across that clip, and there will be some explaining to do. But by and large, Colby and I are good. We have addressed it privately.
You did speak to him?
We did, yeah. I mean, we didn't talk. We messaged each other, and yeah, you know, it's interesting, right? Because I've tried not to lean into it, right? I mean, I just leaned into it a little bit there. But for me, ultimately, there were two parts of that navigation when he said what he said. First of all, what did I say that has upset the high-profile professional athlete? I got to figure that out first.
Sometimes it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
Well, fair, right. But did I say something? Did I analytically go a little bit too far with my editorialization of the welterweight championship pecking order, right? So once I realized that, seems like his beef is really just that I gave Bilal Muhammad a platform and I didn't really say anything that sensational, then you can address what he had said. And if I'm being honest, like, it was Colby in character for me. When I first saw the clip, I thought nothing of it, and then my phone got pretty noisy and I thought more of it as the day went on.
Leon Edwards shed some light into his relationship with Dana White. During a recent interview, Edwards had this to say.
It's all right. I wasn't best pal or best friends, but like any working relationship, right, is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you call him up and say, what's all this I'm reading? I'm actually thinking of doing this.
I'm more closer to Hunter than Dana, too,
right?
probably. My manager would call him up and say all that.
Yeah.
This is what I'm thinking.
He distills what you distills the best, right? That's
basically
the best.
But yeah. I think he knows what I'm thinking anyway and what I want, you know, and so yeah, let's see. Like I said, whoever comes, but he has to make sense as well, you know.
Dana White goes off again on media members last night at the post-fight press conference for creating drama surrounding the upcoming heavyweight title fight between Stipe Miocic and Jon Jones. Here's what Dana had to say.
Jon Jones was tweeting quite a bit. I know you said that you guys hadn't really talked to him and he wasn't really on social media.
No. That was totally blown out of proportion. This is what you guys do. I say something, you blow it way out of proportion. I said all the buildup and all the lead up to that fight, you know what I mean? All this Jon Jones talk, poof, and then he's just gone. You know, Jon just back into the thing. And then Stipe came out. I don't know what Stipe said, but it's like it turns into drama. There's no drama here. I was just saying the buildup was huge, everything else, and then poof, Jon was gone. You know what I mean? Back home and everything else. But yeah, as far as I know, everything's good, and hopefully we have a fight and with him and Stipe very soon.
He kind of made it sound like it would be Madison Square Garden. Is that kind of the thought?
Who did?
Jon.
That's where we'd like to do it. Yeah. So I guess Jon's back, huh? He hasn't disappeared anymore. He's back. It's so easy to create drama in this sport. It's insane.
Dan Hooker gives an update on his injury during a recent interview. Hooker has recently been suffering with a hand injury, but he assures fans that it's on the mend, and hopefully we'll see him compete in July.
No, I'm using like both hands. Everything's good to go.
What pair wise, like?
Oh, it just takes probably like 80. Like I'd say the strength's there for like wrestling. I just haven't really hit like when I start hitting pads and camp and stuff. Like I think just another couple of weeks of just strengthening all the.
Will you like go full out and try and hit 100%, or will you save that for fight night?
Nah. I think it'll be good in a couple of weeks. Like I reckon I'll be able to let it go in a couple of weeks. So I'm not worried about it for fight or anything like that. Like they've already said, probably be July, and then there's like 2 pay-per-view cards. Obviously, I want to be on the one with Volk. Yeah. It'll be good. Like go there as a team. But the hand will be more than ready by then.
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.